With that said, I'm going to test your knowledge. I'm going to lay out for you what the common issues are of our students. Let's all take a vote. Now listen, I only got 15 minutes, so that means we got to be in total agreement. If everybody's not with me, I'm not going to move on, because my rule is if you don't get number one, there's no need to go to number two. And today we're going to leave out of here agreeing on something. Not, oh, well, I disagree with that. No, we're going to stop, and if we can't get number one, we're not going on. So here are the issues. You support me and tell me if you see them. Number one, young people not taking education seriously. Sexual misconduct, sexual identity issues, substance abuse, depression, family issues, learning disabilities, lack of confidence, low self-image, lack of employment skills, poor reading skills, angry, hostile, hatred for authority, can't get along with peers, can't follow instructions, criminal activity, even on a college campus, and bad college and career ideas, advice typically they get from their family or a peer. Do you see that? Are we in 100% agreement that this is at least accurate? Show your hand. Take a stand. All right. So the thing is, what then is our job? Now, I present to you that a lot of our models are outdated. I present to you that education is behind the world of economics. Now, I've had a fantastic life because I worked in every area of human services, but I've been in business. I've had the privilege of being in publishing, writing over 27 books. I've been all around the world working and speaking and going in and out of corporate, athletics, and education. So I had the opportunity to see all sides. So I'm going to ask you, what is our job then? Literally, as the government sees it, but when you really think about it, peel it back, what is our job so when somebody comes to college, what is our job as the government may see it? I need two answers. One for the side of the room, somebody just give me two. Got one in the holster. Somebody. Our job as educators, period. What is our job? Somebody.
You said as the federal government sees it.
Yes.
That's a whole different thing.
Well, that's where we want to go.
That's not the job I had.
Period.
Not what I do.
Period. Just what you think. True potential? Okay, the side of the room, give me one. Yes. Graduate to students. See, we got to peel it back. Our job, and I tell this to K-12 educators, is always to make taxpayers. Now think this through. Peel any answer you were going to give me back and peel it down. Will any of us feel any ways good about ourselves if 5 years go by, 10 years go by? What's the first question we ask our students? What are you doing now?
What are you doing?
Is there anybody sitting here that does not believe that when you're done with graduation, when you're done with potential, that it doesn't show up in your bank account? Are we in agreement?
Okay.
All right, so the reality is here, if you have a 8% black male graduation, a 20% black male graduation, you are part of this reality, the recession. Michigan's underwater. Detroit has no tax base. Why? Because they put out more tax takers than taxpayers. I present to you, you turn out worse when you drop out of college than you do out of high school. Why? Because your confidence never comes back. I made it and failed. Man, something must really be wrong. The guys don't get out of high school never thought they had a shot, but the guy who tried college at least thought he had a shot. And he got up there and failed. Everybody say, I love. Say, I love Dr. Jackson. And Dr. Jackson loves me. Loosen up a little bit. If I'm wrong, tell me. This is reality. So if you have kids coming to your school and they don't make it, it's not just theory. It bankrupts all of us. Now, some people in here are in a mature state. It's this thing called Social Security. It matters. When our pensions go, it's because we have nobody to pay tax. And when you're looking at that kid, listen, I want you working. Stop fooling around. You don't have 5, 6, 7 years to be here. Get focused. Get out of here. Be about your books. Go get high levels of employment. And that gets missed because we somehow have separated education from economics. I don't know how that happened. We're going to fix it today. This is what we're looking for. College graduates, employment, entrepreneurial opportunities. So you have to ask yourself, what are the issues with, what's the root cause that they want to deal with? What's the root cause? Because if you look at our demographics, there is obviously a problem with the black male. Now, we're not talking about that kid that's going to make it anyway. We're not talking about the articulate guy. He's got good energy and he's a go-getter. We're talking about that troubled population that causes you to feel discomfort that when you see them on your campus and you know they're not focused. So don't come telling me about the other guys. I'm not talking. Today we're going to deal in the defendants. We're talking about 100% of the kids that we're talking about, not the others. And you do have to do something about the black male because the black male is proven to bankrupt a company, a city, or a state government. The school that masters black male graduation will dominate the market for the next 10 years. They won't lay off an employee. They won't cut a benefit. I guarantee you, if your school says if boys of color come, they're leaving here with a job and a diploma. 10 years, economic safety for everybody who works with you and for you. This is all business. Everybody's not cutting back. Everybody's not laying off. Got news for you. Everybody's not broke. Hello? All right, so black male issues. You have so many come from a single parent home. Now you have in America, we have over 20 million young people that are growing up separate from their biological father. We're going to talk about what that means. You have grandparents now that are the primary support caregiver. Whenever that's happening, that's not normal, folks. That's a problem. Typically, it means it's a generational issue going on in the family. Now, we're all from the trio life. It means you got to dig in there. Think about this. We serve first generation college students. Guys, no. These kids are first generation high school graduates. You better think that. See, if you see this kid and it's 2014, he's the first one in his family that got blessed with an opportunity to go to college, all of our hearts should cringe because you know poverty is among that family at the highest level. It's not a game, man. See, I got to work in juvenile justice. I ran the youth murder population for the state of Michigan, so I interfaced 542 of people who took a person's life under 18. It's not a game to me. See, that's what I'm saying. When I see those students, I say to myself, if I see him at 9:30 at the gas station with 4 of his buddies, well, can I say, what's up, what's up, give me a hug, what's good? Or am I going to another gas station? See, that's what you better be thinking about because you're either making a contribution one way or the other. You can't go back to the 20-year-old model. These kids are growing up post-welfare. Do you know what post-welfare means? Post-no support. Welfare has done some damage to America. One writer said that the more welfare a young black boy receives in his youth, the lower his wages will be over the course of his life. So if you start rewarding a boy who didn't do his work in life, you teach him it's a shortcut artist. If you buy a boy some True Religion jeans and some Jordan gym shoes and he walking around with these, you're a part of the problem, Mom. Everybody look straight ahead. They won't know I'm talking about you. Just look straight ahead. Don't look around. Better think this stuff through. So now we got single moms. So when we checked our data about how many are receiving Pell Grant and loans, that's 90% of our program, but we found that is more at the college level. Now I want you to also, if you are a first generation program or you're working for the government, think about this young person who has an incarcerated parent. That's reality. That means this person's trying to beat a generational cycle. This is beyond theory. It's how I view myself. We had a kid come down and interview with us. He's sitting right there, and he said his daddy's been gone for 10 years. I said, so you're going to be the first one to make it. And then he teared up. If you seen the look in his face, he was like, dude. And the kid started weeping, said, with your help, we can do it. Kids sit there and cry at the interview table. They're not even in college yet. Why are you crying? You don't know me. I done just struck a nerve in you, and they're like, please. Girl started crying in the back. She's like, man, nobody else wants me. If I don't have y'all help, I know I can't make it. What's happened? This is the post No Child Left Behind generation. No Child Left Behind was the worst piece of legislation, not in theory, it changed how we did business. So I think legislatively you can argue, debate. We're not going there. What I'm talking about is once the laws changed, teachers changed how they went about it. So you used to have a teacher that could spend time now, but now in the new system, I can't spend time with the bad ones, whatever that is. So now I'm coaching for a test score, and now these kids are literally like neglected students. Neglected. Imagine, we know what a neglected kid looks like, right? Imagine a neglected student. These kids don't work independently. See, the researchers think this is deep. This is a human fundamental. It's not. When you work with people of color, if you miss number one, don't even go to number two, because you will miss us. We are people of feeling, people of spirit, and we are fundamentally easy to work with. And as soon as you try to tie us to a research model, funding band, national best practices, you will miss me, because every neighborhood I go to, the kids are the same, but they're all the way different. And the way they talk on the west side of where I'm from is not where they talk on the east. And you better be talking right if you want to make progress. So, if you think this through, let me get through this. The other piece is, if you got Pell Grant students coming down, that tells you they came through the Title I system. The Title I system means free and reduced lunch. Now, guys, that means hunger. They're not eating like me and you. See, you may haven't been on welfare, but I know poverty. I've been both. I've been in a house with no heat. I've been in a house with revoked food stamps. Do you know that life? Do you know where that's from? Everybody had their struggle, but our students come from that level of poverty. That means your eating is trained. That's why we would have a group of our students come down, get complete all Fs, but eat 4 meals a day. Live on campus, but don't go to class. You know what that's called? That's called poverty. And stupid. Your meal plan is getting hit, but you didn't come to class and you live here. That's poverty, folks. That's a devalue for education. And one of the curses of welfare is a devalue of education. Dr. King said it. If you give it to them, I don't have to go get it. It's poverty. So, what you want to think is the father factor is when you deal with people of color, know the father factor. Now, what they lied to us and told us is that if you don't have a daddy, you're not going to be nothing. That's a lie. That's never been accurate. We got some bad information, and what happened, the other researchers said, well, I made it without a father. Look at me. I got a PhD. I'm a medical doctor. And fathers don't impact your life in that manner. Father's job in our life is emotional. It's the gray area. It's tricky. Meaning, we will not really know what hurt you until you're trained like me to see it, or you let us know. The daddy is great. See, I always say you can make it without your daddy, but nobody knows how you feel. So you can make it to the White House, you can make it to the league, you can get money, you can get married, you can have a lot of kids, but we don't know what's going on inside you. So that's when we see the marijuana use. That's when we see abuse of sex. That's when we see these people are just totally out of their mind. Like, what's wrong with him? Why is he so angry? Why does he want to kill people? I didn't even say nothing to him. What you say? What? Y'all better say something to me. You're like, you scared of the speaker and walk out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with this dude? He's emotionally unstable. That's what comes from the daddy. See, your mother, if you make it without your mother, you need to write the book and let us know how that worked out. It'll be impossible to make it without your mom. Mamas and daddies do not do the same thing. Now, fathers, let's take a look at this daddy stuff because it impacts whether we graduate. Fathers play the most pivotal role in children's emotional and adult well-being. And the problem I'm seeing on college campuses with staff. We have, a lot of our staff were trio students. And they made it without a daddy, but you ever notice how we plateau and get to our career? And some people in here are not happy with where they're at. They're frustrated. The marriage didn't work out. They're on marriage number 2 and marriage number 3. They're a mean, nasty advisor. They're a director that doesn't help kids. How did they give you this money and you sent some back? There's nothing you could have did? Problem I'm finding is we know the kids are messed up, but what we missed is that the staff is struggling with the same issues. Their marriages are on the ropes. They're fighting with their own kids. Their health has broke down under heartbreak.
21st century after-school grants are very.
That's what's beating us. Because think about it. If you have this kid come to you and he's broke up, and you broke up too, what you gonna do for him? Pray? Give him a handout. Good luck with that. That's the battle. We have not trained our staff to build themselves up. If our kids are coming with a deficit, they're coming to just take from us. And we don't get rebuilt. So now we're walking around with a deficit. We're functionally depressed. We're tired. You ever notice how you leave sometime the university at 6 o'clock and you bankrupt walking over there to that parking structure and and when you get home, you just fall out. You know when you pass out, you're not sleeping, right? Everybody look to the front. They won't know I'm talking. Just don't look around. Okay? So, and I'm moving because but the things I want you to see is, and it's important. One, you got some kids that don't know their father. Two, you got some that know him, but they got no relationship. This is what I always tell my colleagues are carjackers. That's an angry person who's been rejected. That person's full of poison. What you say the little boy said? He didn't know he was angry with his daddy. He in there sitting there turning over tables, acting all mean and angry. Dude, what's wrong with you? And we peel it back, we'll see it's a hole in his heart. Him and his daddy had a fallout. His daddy ain't been over there in years. Takes some time and some love to do that. That's a skill. You got some people that live with their father. He's in the same house, but you got a non-affectionate father. A father who does not care, who does not love, who does not hug, who just is not into that. You know what I'm saying? So he go to work every day, but that's the extent of it. That's called distant affection.
So I would say that.
Anybody ever met somebody in that situation?
Never want to.
Serious, man. This is not it. Then you got the victims of the substitute father. So this is where it gets tricky. This is where these guys have made an effort to replace people's daddy. You cannot replace a child's father. You can't do it. Good luck on that. What does the kid always say once you start doing your thing and y'all get serious and you got to get real with it? You're not my daddy. So I present to you, this means it's going to be hard for mentoring to work. That way, that's what if mentoring was the key, you could bring somebody who went through the same thing and we'd be out. Is that true? It's snapping right out of it. I went through it. You went through it too. All right, yeah, you did it. I'm not going to do it. This generation says, oh, you went through that? Man, I was stupid. I'm not going to get caught. Do these kids look at you like you stupid when you tell them this? Sometimes they look at you like, why did you do that?
Where do we want to prioritize?
Serious. This is the emotional generation. This is the post-welfare generation. This is the post-no child left behind generation. They were neglected, not only by parents, they were neglected by teachers, and it shows up. Man, that's heavy. Man. That's too much. I think I want you to get what we need from our Father. Fathers protect, discipline, provide financial means, but most of all, fathers provide and build and maintain self-esteem. Fathers provide guidance and things like that, but fathers provide unconditional love. If you don't get unconditional love, you'll be in a situation just like this. Dr. Chapman told us years ago that particularly when you're dealing with people of color, Dr. Chapman didn't say it, I said it, when you're dealing with boys of color, words rule. This is where we have a problem, and it looks like black and white, because we don't speak the same language. Notice this, men and women are having problems too. This is not black people, white people. Black men and black women are having just as many, some black men and black boys are having just as many problems based on how we communicate. True or not true?
True.
So what happens is, not only are our students coming love bankrupt, but our staff is love bankrupt, and now we get in a situation. Now I'm going to say, okay, now obviously this is an all-day training. They gave me 15 minutes. I'm going to finish. You understand? Were you with me? Okay? Who's with me so far so I can finish strong? Okay. Here's the model then. This is the way you do it. So the first piece is you got to have a staff that is trained to the demographic. No longer at your schools do this, everybody. We have a diversity unit. You're going to lose. Because this is what I learned. I work with an Arab American population. My friends in Dearborn, Dr. Mahdi, owns 4 Arab American schools. And what I recognize when I work with our 4 schools, I respect the culture 1,000%. So why is it when it comes to people of color, culture line respecting gets glitched? If you were working with an Arab American population, the first thing you do, they didn't speak your language, you get somebody to interpretate. You're going to respect their times of prayer. You're going to respect their norms. When they start saying, listen, Doc, we got to take a break to pray. The lady told me, she said, at this time, you must stop. We must pray. What'd I say?
Okay.
I will pray too. Now, when it comes to people of color, when it's people of color, throw them all in there together. Good luck with that. You don't do that. There's some specific details that must be hammered out, and you got to have people that are not afraid. That's black people and white people. See, we've been getting it mixed up like it's a race fight. It's not. Oh no. Oh no. Black people embrace a white man or white woman that speak the language and show them the love. Period. It's not color. Because sometimes you have some black people that are the same problem too. So stop the race theory. And if you're going to have a racist university where the black and white people can't get along, and it's the undertone where the black people at the school feel like the white people at the top don't understand and don't care, you're going the wrong way. At what point in life do we grow up? I asked the people at Chrysler, can we grow up? And they said, yes, we can. I talked to a group of white teachers out in Grand Rapids last week, and we had a frank discussion about race. The lady said, if somebody had came and told me what you told me 30 years ago, I would have made a lot less mistakes in special education with black boys. Because nobody wants to shoot straight. Everybody's trying not to hurt each other's feelings. All of our sessions are safe. You know, we do the safe stuff because nobody wants nobody to get hurt. Do you realize we're hurting ourselves and our product? Can we be responsible about it? I'm not blaming anybody. I'm talking personal responsibility. Can we do that? Mm-hmm. Right. So number 2, you got to train the staff. Thank God for the trainings, man. But you got to have these legitimate trainings. You got to get them some help. You have to help 3, help the young people choose a career path as early as possible. Now, I can prove that to you because if they're not going to stay if they don't see the money. Stop preaching graduation in theory. If you can't show me how it's going to turn out, what are you talking about? I'm telling you, when I showed my kids, they was in there talking all these crazy careers. I said, okay, I got you. All right, let's pull up on Career Builder. So basically, you're going into a major that it's only 16 jobs in the country. Do you want to rethink that right now or when you get your degree? These kids are getting some horrible advice. You lock them into a career, they can change, but they gotta see the money. They gotta know this is gonna pay off. This cannot. I only went to college. I'm from the gutter of Detroit. I only went to college because 1, I was convinced it was my only way to beat poverty. They convinced me, if you go, you will never be poor. I was raised poor, so that sold me. Same is true today. Thank God for Dr. Green to give a poor, fat black kid from Detroit a job and let him go to school and let him work on himself. If you don't have people like that, we got no shot. The staff is the only hope, not policies. You can go back and put up some new legislation. That's cute, thanks. But the difference is the people I'm looking at, and if nothing in your heart says, I gotta do something, man. I done been here, I got this job, I got a master's, I got a PhD, they paid my medical bills, and I did not make an outstanding contribution. Come on, guys. Where's your ethics, man? We took an oath. We took an oath to give them 1,000%. TRIO is an honorable task because our task is to beat poverty. There's no other way to beat poverty except truth and education. And if you don't give it to them, who else is going to give it to them? TV? Their family? Weekly follow-ups. There's no way you have a program and you're not going to touch them every week. This group, if you lose track of 1 week can ruin your college career. This is true. 1 bad week of college, you're done. So you got to touch them every week. Is it more work? Really, not really, because the data says that the average person who do what we do only work less than 1 hour a week, real-time physical work. Everybody look to the front, they won't know. Just don't look around, right? Nice people in here to work. These are the soldiers with the boots on the ground, but the average person who do it, they're not working. I mean, we're not talking about real work. You know what I'm talking about, right? Professional academic support. Think this through. If I got neglected in the classroom, why am I going to come to college to work with a student tutor? So I go to Wayne to live with Wayne. I pay $12,000 a semester to work with a student. I want to ask y'all what y'all think about this. Seriously. I don't want to work with a kid. I need an adult. I need help. I need the emotional part of the topic. True or not true? Now think this through. It's not whether they know the topic or not. It's that I'm working with an adult and they are giving. So now I can look at somebody that look like me or may know somebody like me. And you graduated? Yeah. This is what I did. Stay focused. Stay focused. That's what they need. It's beyond the topic. Are you with me? You understand what I'm saying? I need an adult because I haven't been parented at home. I definitely got left behind at school. And now I'm about to come to a kid with another peer who's going to treat me like I'm stupid if I don't understand the math. Number 6, mentoring and social groups got to be run by professional male staff. It cannot be these theoretical student groups. They've been unsupervised and they need adult supervision. Keep them enrolled every semester. Everybody's got to graduate in 4 years. Now, I know what I'm talking about because they're going to graduate in a recession. Every year they stay there longer. It benefits the university, not the kid. What else do they have going on that they can't get this thing done in 3.5 to 4? Now, I want to know what you're saying. I'll let it go right there. I'm done. I'm done. I got the time. I'm going to finish. But think this through. Why can't they do it? I want to hear this. I want to hear from you. Why? What else do they have going on? Hey, education to change your life. Got that one. What else?
Thank you so much for coming.
You got 60 hours a week. Work 20, study 30. You in class for 12. What else? If they don't do it this way, you hear my words. If they don't go that 4-year go hard model, 15 credit hours, 6 to 8 over the summer, I'm telling you, you're going to contribute to the delinquency of the future of a student because they won't get that opportunity that some of us had to graduate in 6. They won't get it. They better get out of there in 4 because the game has changed. They better get focused and stay focused. And you know what? Number 10 says they do have to work. They do got to work 20 hours too. That the day of, well, you know, work and focus on school. These kids ain't focusing on school. They beating that phone and face hooking. No. You got to go work your 20. Work your 20. Go to class and study your 30. Get your books. Now, you got to decide whether you want to be a social teenager or a working, my job, my apartment, my new car, 50 grand and up adult. And you notice them kids that got that, they leave the group, and now the kids in the group want to be like them. Why are we producing followers? Don't follow the herd. Obviously, they don't know what they're doing. Talking about, I'm working this summer. You're not going to school? Nah, I'll come back in the fall. You ever notice that they lose that energy? It takes momentum to finish college. It takes discipline. It takes energy. And that's what you got to tell them, dude. You can't do it that way. The financial trap is ruthless. Financial aid trap is ruthless. I'm saying have one person on your staff that's just their job to find out where the money's at and help our kids who do what we ask them to do go to school for free. That's all I'm at. Somebody go back and say, I'll be that one who professionally researched the economics, the scholarships, the companies that pay for school, and stop letting our kids get plowed. That financial aid office is not looking out for the kids. That's just like billing department. And they do have your best interest in mind. Get it? Interest. And last, you gotta help them find and keep a job. Everybody, they got to go to work. The old model is you stay here, be my son, and you just focus on your books. If they're coming to college to get a job, the market still says that the way you get the best employment is through work experience and interfacing. So they lied to us and told us, well, it's online internet. Guys, the data, Forbes still says that 80% of all high levels of employment are reached, obtained, and received by prior contacts. So why are we telling the kid just click the button? we're not even giving that's not how it works. If you click that button, follow it with a call. If you click that button, go in and say, hey, I'm email number 782. This is my name. Just remember me. Just want to meet you. They will remember. That's how you get a job. I found out our kids don't know how to get a job. I asked them to do resumes, no shot. I asked them for reference letters. I'm like, some of these reference letters aren't even a reference. I had one teacher say, such and such comes to class sometimes. Dude, I said, did you read that letter? You're not going to get a job off that. Anybody feel like you know, I know I had to move, feel like you got a little bit of help today? Little. Like, it just added some value to your life. All right? Now.
I'm sorry, I have to ask the question.
Sure.
Only because.
Sure.
Why not connect them with career services?
She's asking a good point. Now, tomorrow I've got career services coming to my class and my kids are getting connected. Also, I put together the networks of employers so our kids can get a job with one phone call. So they do have to be connected with career services because that's what they're paid to do. So I have career services coming tomorrow. So they do have to be connected with career services. And one step further says that when I got that good kid that you know comes to tell you that story and you know he needs work and you know he good and you know he compliant, that I can pick up the phone. I've had kids that I picked up the phone and got them a job. They didn't even have an interview. We gotta have those kind of hookups. Did anybody besides me got hooked up in life because I knew somebody that loved me? Dr. Green got me my first job on GP. He thought I was a decent kid. I hope I haven't failed you, teacher. Okay? So everybody, listen. Good credit is a good thing in America. If they got good credit with you, the phone call can get them a job. They know if you mess my credit up, you don't mess with me no more. But it's good to have somebody that loves you, that one call can get you a job. And that's what I'm trying to show. Good credit, build up your credit, be honorable, do your job, and build relationships, and that's what wins the fight. Questions? It's a good question. Yes, sir.
Can you get a copy of that PowerPoint?
That PowerPoint. Hey, listen, no problem. I have a sign-in sheet. I want to stay in touch with everybody. Sign my sign-in sheet. You sign my sign-in sheet legibly. You put your email. I'll make sure you get our information. And also, like I told you, I did write 27 books. One of my books is Black Boys Can Graduate. And I'm going to hang out for a minute if you do need that. But guys, I want to tell you, honestly, you are the difference. So remember what I said.